We're in the middle of this massive shift in how we fight cancer. And it's a story that's not really about some new wonder drug, but about a mechanism hidden deep inside our own bodies that has completely, and I mean completely, changed the game. It all starts with our DNA.
So that's the central question here, isn't it? What if the most powerful weapon we have against cancer isn't from a lab at all, but it's our very own immune system, just waiting for someone to take its blindfold off? Just keep that image in your head as we go through this.
All right, so to really understand this revolution, we've got to meet the main character of our story. It's a biological process called DNA mismatch repair, or you'll hear we say MMR for short.
Okay, the easiest way to wrap your head around this is with a simple analogy. Imagine your DNA is constantly making copies of itself, like a typist going 1,000 miles an hour. Now, even the best typist is going to make typos, or mismatches. While the MMR proteins, they're your body's elite spell check team. Their job is to constantly scan for those typos, cut them out, and fix them. And this job is absolutely critical for keeping our genetic codes stable and healthy.
So, that leads to the big question, right? What happens when that team of proofreaders is, well, broken or just not there? That condition is called deficient mismatch repair, or DMMR. And when that happens, those typos, they start piling up fast. And that's when the real trouble can start.
To really appreciate just how much of a game changer this new discovery is, we have to take a quick look back at how things used to be done, the old standard of care for cancer.
For decades, for the longest time, the whole strategy was about location, location, location. Got colon cancer? You got colon cancer treatment. Stomach cancer? You got stomach cancer treatment. The specific organ, that was the enemy.
And the tools we used were powerful, but they were really broad, kind of like sledgehammers. You had surgery to just cut the tumor out. You had radiation to blast it with energy. And then there was chemotherapy, this powerful cocktail of drugs designed to kill any cell in the body that was growing quickly, whether it was cancerous or not.
But here's the crucial point. This one-size-fits-all approach had a massive blind spot. We know now that for patients with that broken spell check system, those DMMR patients, these standard chemo treatments were often just not that effective. The treatment simply wasn't matching the underlying problem.
And that brings us to the turning point. This is where a fundamental shift in thinking just changed everything. We moved from focusing on where the cancer was to why it was even there to begin with.
The whole perspective just started to flip. Scientists began moving away from only asking, okay, where is this cancer located?
And they started asking a much deeper, much more important question: why is it here? What is fundamentally broken in its genetic code that's allowing it to grow out of control?
The change was kind of like this. We stopped just treating the tree, the organ where the cancer popped up, and we started going after the root of the problem itself, the specific genetic signature written into the DNA.
And here was the huge clue. Remember that broken spell checker we talked about? Well, when it fails, the tumor's DNA just racks up thousands upon thousands of typos, or mutations. All those mistakes make the tumor look incredibly strange, totally foreign to the body's immune system. It's basically waving a giant glowing red flag that screams, hey, I don't belong here.
And that discovery, wow, it unlocked a completely new strategy. Instead of trying to poison the cancer with chemo, the question became, what if we could just help the immune system see that giant red flag? And that is the beautiful, simple idea behind immunotherapy.
Just think about the difference for a second. Chemo is like a weed killer, right? It just hits everything in its path. But immunotherapy, it's not a poison at all. It's more like a tool that just rips the disguise, the mask, right off the cancer cell. It exposes it so your body's own defense forces can finally see it and do their job.
It's so elegant. It really works in 3 simple steps. First, because of that broken spell check, the DMMR tumor is already loaded with mutations, making it look foreign. Step 2, cancer's pretty clever, so it wears a mask to hide. Immunotherapy drugs, which are called checkpoint inhibitors, they just remove that mask. And then step 3, with the mask gone, the immune system finally recognizes the enemy and launches a precise, powerful attack.
So, the big question is, what actually happened when doctors started using this super-targeted approach on patients with these DMMR tumors? Well, the results weren't just good, they were absolutely revolutionary.
100%. Just let that number sink in for a moment. In the world of oncology, you almost never, ever see that number.
So here's the story behind that number.
in a landmark trial for rectal cancer patients, and every single one of them had this DMMR genetic signature. 100% of them had what's called a complete response. Their tumors completely vanished. And get this, they did it with immunotherapy alone. No life-altering surgery, no radiation.
I mean, that is the power of precision oncology. The benefits are just profound. The responses are often durable, which is a fancy way of saying the cancer stays away for a really long time. The patients have a much better quality of life because they get to avoid all those harsh chemo side effects. And like we just saw, in some cases, it can eliminate the need for invasive surgery altogether.
This table here sums it all up perfectly. You can see the whole story. We've gone from a broad-spectrum sledgehammer to a highly targeted smart weapon, from attacking all fast-growing cells to just unmasking the tumor. And from a treatment that frankly wasn't working that well for these DMMR patients to one that is now stunningly successful, with a completely different set of side effects. It's a true paradigm shift.
And that really leaves us with this final, powerful thought. This whole story shows us that the keys to curing diseases can be hidden right there in our own genetic code, just waiting to unlock our body's own amazing ability to heal. So the real question now is, what's next? What other diseases are out there just waiting for us to find the right key and teach our own bodies how to cure themselves?